Risk is the price of opportunity. This simple truth is often overlooked because people are conditioned to seek safety. From an early age, we are taught to avoid mistakes, to play it safe, and to minimize uncertainties. But the reality is, every great achievement in history, every monumental success, and every groundbreaking innovation has come from someone willing to take a risk. Risk is not just a part of the journey, it is the very foundation of opportunity. Without it, growth is impossible. When I decided to leave my stable job and start Amazon, it wasn't because I had a guarantee of success. In fact, most people thought it was a terrible idea. The internet was new, e-commerce was untested, and books were not exactly the most exciting product to sell. But I wasn't looking for certainty, I was looking for possibility. I understood that if I didn't take the risk, someone else would. And more than anything, I knew that not trying would haunt me far more than failing. Risk is misunderstood. People often think of it as something dangerous, something to be avoided. But what they fail to see is that the biggest risk of all is staying where you are, never challenging yourself, and never pushing beyond your comfort zone. The world does not reward those who hesitate. It rewards those who are willing to step into the unknown and bet on themselves. Think about any major breakthrough in business. Apple, Tesla, SpaceX, Google. These companies exist because someone was willing to take a chance when others hesitated. Steve Jobs risked everything to build a company that thought differently. Elon Musk invested his last dollar into SpaceX, knowing that if he failed, he would have nothing left. But that's the difference between those who change the world and those who remain spectators. Opportunity does not come wrapped in certainty. It does not come with a guarantee of success. It presents itself as a challenge, a question, an unknown path. Those who recognize it, who embrace the uncertainty, and who step forward despite the fear are the ones who unlock its true potential. Most people wait for the perfect moment, but perfection never comes. There is never a time when all the conditions are ideal. There will always be doubts, risks, and reasons to hold back. But the ones who move forward anyway are the ones who win. Risk-taker is not about being reckless, it's about calculated decisions. It's about knowing that failure is a possibility, but understanding that the lessons learned will be worth the price. It's about trusting that even if things don't work out exactly as planned, you will grow, adapt, and find new ways to succeed. Some of the greatest success stories in history were built on a series of failures that led to a breakthrough. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination before building an empire. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is their willingness to keep taking risks, to keep betting on themselves, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles. People often ask, what if I fail? But the real question is, what if you never try? Regret is far worse than failure. When you look back at your life, you won't remember the times you failed as much as you'll remember the times you never took a chance. The opportunities you let slip away, the ideas you never pursued, the dreams you never chased because you were afraid of the risk. The truth is, you either take risks now or you live with regret later. Every great entrepreneur, every successful leader, and every innovator understands that risk is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you avoid it, you stay stuck. If you embrace it, you open the door to limitless possibilities. The problem is, most people see risk as something external, something that happens to them. But in reality, risk is a mindset. It's a choice. It's the decision to say, I will take this chance because I believe in the possibility of something greater. The fear of failure is what holds most people back. They are afraid of losing money, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of making the wrong choice. But the irony is, the only way to truly lose is to never try at all. Every risk you take teaches you something valuable. Every failure gives you an edge. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, pivot, and come back stronger. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who failed the most and kept going. Most people think success is about having the right idea, the right timing, or the right resources. But in reality, it's about having the right mindset. It's about understanding that risk is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's what separates those who make history from those who watch from the sidelines. It's what turns ideas into reality, dreams into achievements, and potential into greatness. Taking risks is not just about business. It applies to every area of life. The relationships you build, the chances you take, the places you go, the experiences you allow yourself to have. Everything meaningful in life requires some level of risk. Love is a risk, trusting someone is a risk, moving to a new city, starting a new job, learning a new skill. It all requires stepping into the unknown. And yet these are the things that make life worth living. People often wait for permission. They wait for someone to tell them it's okay to take a chance. But the truth is, no one is coming to give you permission. No one is going to tell you it's the right time. The people who succeed are the ones who give themselves permission. They understand that waiting is the enemy of progress. If you wait too long, the opportunity will pass and someone else will take it. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that security is an illusion. The job you think is safe today could disappear tomorrow. The industry you rely on could change overnight. The only real security comes from your ability to adapt, to take risks, and to create opportunities for yourself. If you are always waiting for the perfect moment, you will never move. The perfect moment is now. Taking risk doesn't mean you won't feel fear. Fear is natural. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people act despite the fear. They feel the doubt, the uncertainty, and the anxiety, but they move forward anyway. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward in spite of it. Risk and opportunity go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. The bigger the opportunity, the bigger the risk. But the people who truly win in life are the ones who are willing to take that gamble, knowing that even if they fail, they will learn, grow, and eventually find success. The truth is, nothing extraordinary has ever been achieved without risk. It is the currency of greatness. It is the key to unlocking your full potential. Most people are so afraid of losing what they have that they never reach for what they could have. They cling to comfort, to stability, to what is familiar. But comfort is the enemy of progress. Growth happens at the edge of uncertainty. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who played it safe. They are the ones who took bold, calculated risks, knowing that even if they stumbled, they would rise again, stronger than before. The question is not whether you will face risk. The question is whether you will embrace it, whether you will let it stop you or let it fuel you, whether you will let fear hold you back or let courage push you forward. The choice is yours. Long-term thinking creates real wealth. Most people focus on immediate gains, quick results, and instant gratification. They want success now, money now, and recognition now. But true wealth, whether financial, intellectual, or personal, comes from the ability to think beyond today. It comes from making decisions that may not pay off immediately, but will compound over time. When I started Amazon, I wasn't thinking about how much profit we could make in a month or a year. I was thinking about what this company could become in 10, 20, even 50 years. That mindset shaped every decision. Instead of chasing short-term profits, we reinvested in technology, logistics, and customer experience. Instead of making choices that looked good in the moment, we made choices that would set the foundation for long-term dominance. Most people struggle with long-term thinking because they are wired for short-term rewards. They measure success by immediate outcomes rather than by sustained progress. This is why so many businesses fail, because they focus on making a quick sale rather than building a lasting brand. It's why so many people struggle financially, because they prioritize short-term spending over long-term investing. It's why so many individuals never reach their full potential, because they give up too soon instead of putting in the years of effort required to achieve greatness. Building real wealth, whether in business, skills, relationships, or life, requires patience and persistence. It means being willing to do the hard work today for the rewards that will come years later. It means delaying gratification, resisting distractions, and focusing on the bigger picture. The most successful people understand that time is their greatest ally. They are not concerned with overnight success. They are concerned with consistent progress. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in the world, but it only works for those who think long-term. A small investment, repeated over time, grows into something massive. A single skill, practiced daily, turns into mastery. A business nurtured with patience and vision becomes an empire. But this only happens for those who are willing to think beyond today. Those who are willing to play the long game. Those who understand that real success is not measured in days or months, but in decades. Customer obsession leads to lasting success. This principle is often misunderstood because many businesses focus on competition rather than the customer. They look at what their rivals are doing, they react to market trends, and they attempt to position themselves based on external factors. But the truth is, the only sustainable path to success is putting the customer at the center of everything you do. The companies that endure, the ones that dominate industries for decades, are the ones that prioritize customer needs above everything else. When I started Amazon, I didn't set out to build just another bookstore. I wanted to create something that would redefine how people shop. Most businesses at the time were focused on profit margins, supplier relationships, and cost cutting. But I knew that the real key to success wasn't any of those things. It was the customer experience. If we made the customer's life easier, if we saved them time and gave them more choices, they would keep coming back. Many businesses claim to care about their customers, but very few actually obsess over them. Obsession means going beyond satisfaction. It means constantly thinking about what would make their experience better, what would delight them, what problems they don't even know they have yet. It means anticipating their needs before they express them. It's about innovation driven by empathy, not just competition. The companies that thrive are not the ones that chase revenue. They are the ones that chase customer trust. Trust is the foundation of any lasting business relationship. When customers trust you, they don't just buy from you once, they keep coming back, they tell their friends, they become your advocates, and the only way to earn that trust is to relentlessly focus on delivering value. Many businesses get distracted by short-term gains. They look for quick wins, aggressive marketing tactics, or pricing strategies that boost profits temporarily. But customers see through that. They know when a company is trying to extract value rather than provide it. Businesses that put profit before people might see success for a while, but eventually customers will move on. The companies that dominate for decades are the ones that build relationships, not just transactions. Customer obsession is not about being reactive, it's about being proactive. It's not about responding to complaints, it's about making sure the complaints never happen in the first place. It's about setting a higher standard than your competitors because you are not measuring yourself against them, you're measuring yourself against what the customer deserves. One of the most powerful things about customer obsession is that it forces you to keep improving. It ensures that you never become complacent. The moment you stop thinking about your customers is the moment your company starts to decline. The world is constantly changing, and so are customer expectations. The companies that stay ahead are the ones that evolve with them. Innovation and customer obsession go hand in hand. The best ideas, the game-changing innovations, don't come from boardrooms. They come from listening to customers. The Kindle wasn't invented because we wanted to sell a new gadget. It was created because we saw that people loved reading, but carrying books was inconvenient. We made it easier, more accessible, and ultimately changed how people read forever. Speed is also a critical part of customer obsession. Customers don't just want great service, they want it fast. They don't just want convenience, they expect it. That's why we invested so much into Amazon Prime. At the time, people thought we were crazy to offer 2-day shipping. It was expensive, it was complicated, and it seemed unnecessary. But we knew that customers valued their time. We knew that if we made their experience faster and easier, they would never go back to waiting weeks for their orders. The companies that ignore customer obsession often find themselves playing catch-up. They look at the leaders in their industry and wonder why they're falling behind. But the answer is simple. The leaders are not thinking about the competition, they are thinking about the customer. While others are reacting to market changes, customer-obsessed companies are shaping the future. Many businesses think of customer service as a department. They see it as something separate from their core business strategy. But true customer obsession is woven into every part of a company. It's in the product design, the supply chain, the website experience, the return policy, everything. Every decision should be made with one question in mind: how does this benefit the customer? A lot of companies make the mistake of assuming they know what customers want. They rely on assumptions, outdated surveys, or trends that might not reflect reality. But the only way to truly understand customers is to listen. The best businesses spend time with their customers, engage with them, read their feedback, and pay attention to their behavior. Many successful businesses started with a simple observation: customers were frustrated. Uber saw that hailing a taxi was inconvenient. Airbnb saw that hotels were expensive and lacked a personal touch. Netflix saw that renting movies was a hassle. They didn't just build businesses, they solved problems. And they did it by putting the customer first. Customer obsession is also about resilience. The best companies don't just focus on what customers want today. They think about what they will want 5 years from now. They anticipate changes before they happen. That's why we invested so much in cloud computing with AWS. At the time, most people didn't understand why Amazon was moving into that space. But we saw a future where businesses would need scalable, reliable cloud services. We didn't wait for the demand to arrive. We built the infrastructure before people even realized they needed it. Many companies fail because they resist change. They get comfortable with what's working and ignore signs that customers are moving in a different direction. But businesses that last are always evolving. They understand that customer obsession is not about being attached to a single product or strategy. It's about being attached to the mission of serving customers in the best way possible. The best entrepreneurs, the best innovators, and the best leaders don't just build businesses. They build customer experiences. They don't just sell products. They create solutions. They don't just look at numbers. They look at people. The moment a company loses sight of the customer is the moment it starts to decline. Some companies look at their competitors and try to copy what's working. But true success doesn't come from imitation. It comes from innovation. And innovation starts with understanding customers better than anyone else. It's about going deeper, asking better questions, and refusing to settle for good enough. Customer obsession also requires a willingness to take risks. Sometimes, giving customers the best experience means making decisions that don't immediately make sense on a balance sheet. When we launched free returns, people thought it would be a financial disaster. But we saw it differently. We knew that customers hated the hassle of returning items. By making it easy, we increased their trust. And in the long run, that trust led to more loyalty, more purchases, and more growth. Most companies make decisions based on what benefits them. They think about cost savings, efficiency, and maximizing profits. But the companies that last are the ones that think about what benefits the customer first. Ironically, when you put customers first, profits follow. But when you put profits first, customers leave. Customer obsession is not a one-time effort. It's a mindset, a culture, a philosophy. It's not about responding to trends, it's about setting them. It's not about short-term wins, it's about long-term relationships. The businesses that endure, the ones that leave a lasting impact, are the ones that never stop thinking about how to serve their customers better. Most industries evolve, competitors change, and markets shift. But one thing remains constant. Customers always want better experiences. The companies that understand this, that truly internalize it, are the ones that don't just succeed, they define the future. Failure is just data for your next decision. Most people see failure as an endpoint, a sign that they were wrong or that they should give up. But the most successful individuals in the world understand that failure is nothing more than feedback. It is a signal, a source of information that guides the next step. Every mistake, every setback, and every wrong turn provides valuable insight that can be used to improve, refine, and ultimately succeed. The people who go the farthest are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail the most and learn the fastest. When Amazon first started, there were countless failures. We launched products that didn't work. We made investments that didn't pay off. We experimented with ideas that never took off, but every single failure taught us something new. Every misstep revealed something we hadn't considered before. Instead of treating failure as a reason to stop, we treated it as a lesson, an opportunity to get better, to adjust, and to move forward with more knowledge than before. The reason Amazon continued to grow wasn't because we avoided failure, it was because we embraced it. Most people are afraid of failure because they take it personally. They believe that failing at something means they are a failure, but failure is not a reflection of who you are, it is simply data. It is information about what worked, what didn't, and what needs to change. The moment you start viewing failure objectively instead of emotionally, everything shifts. It becomes easier to analyze what went wrong and make the necessary adjustments. It becomes easier to take risks because you no longer fear failure. You see it as a necessary part of the process. Think about how children learn to walk. They don't get up and start running immediately. They fall down, they stumble, they get back up and try again. Every fall teaches them something about balance, about movement, about coordination. They don't quit just because they fall a few times. They instinctively understand that falling is part of learning. But somewhere along the way, as people grow older, they lose that mindset. They start to fear failure instead of embracing it. They start avoiding risks because they don't want to make mistakes. And in doing so, they limit their own potential. In business, in life, in every pursuit, failure is inevitable. The only way to avoid failure completely is to do nothing, to take no action, to never step outside of what is already known. But that is the fastest way to stagnate. The only way to grow, to improve, and to achieve something meaningful is to be willing to fail, to analyze what went wrong, and to use that knowledge to make a better decision next time. The most successful people are the ones who understand that failure is not a stop sign, it is a roadmap. It points the way forward, showing what needs to be adjusted, refined, and improved.